Yes, we'll be back from the break. It's 27 minutes to the top of the hour. And definitely we're heading into, that is the last minutes of the show. I'm Andrew Barije, and with my guest Daniel Kazibwe, what majority of you know as Ragadi, who majority of you know as Ragadi. And of course, we are breaking down these matters further regarding the night economy. But of course, before we proceed, I still have to remind you that the markets on the Zappa platform are already on. You can participate by dialing *292# which is the USSD code that will avail you with options where you'll be in position to buy government bonds and securities for 15,000 Ugandan shillings. Now the market's already on. Participate. And now they're going to be running up to 3:15. They open at 8:15 a.m. and they'll be running up to 3:15 p.m. And that is East African time. And this is effective Monday up to Friday, apart from the weekends and the public holidays. So today is the last day of the week for them to operate. Tomorrow, don't bother, because they won't be in operation. So we shall be back again on 25th. That is on Monday. So Zabo made this a reality regardless of where you're located. And that's why it comes out and confidently tells you that, well, it's my money, it's my future. And Ultex East Africa tells us that we need to do something new for ourselves because it's 2023. Now, Mr. Kazibwe,
yes.
Something on the night economy, security is something quite very key.
Yes.
We need to see how government and the respective security agencies can foster a healthy environment for the night economy to thrive.
In the first world, they don't need security.
You don't need security?
You need lighting and cameras. So anything you do, you're on Big Brother. So that is security and safety.
Safety.
So in London, you never see policemen carrying guns.
Actually, yeah, true. I used to think that was something from the movies, actually. Detectives don't work with guns.
They never carry guns because the people know what they have to do. Because you make a mistake, beat up someone in the night or do a robbery. The cameras are watching. Now, imagine Acacia is full of lights.
True.
You get down to the junction, Mukwano. When you get towards Mukwano Lane, the darkness is over there. That is a bad night for you. It's a nightmare.
Yes.
So when there's light everywhere and there's camera everywhere, everything is okay.
Okay.
So the people who want to steal, who want to cheat, they already see something is looking at them. So you don't need many policemen to be policing the areas. You just need a few cameramen who will sit on the cameras.
In the control rooms.
And the control. And they see who is parking in the wrong place, who is driving speed, who is drunk.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
It is simple.
Well, interesting. Now, maybe if we can look at the artistic expressions that happen during the night economy, what reputation do you think they put out there? What picture do they portray for Uganda?
No, it depends. You see, during the night, that's when all wrong things happen. But it depends in the areas where you go. Sometimes some of these roads are full of sex workers. So you can't really move with your kids and they're like asking you questions.
Questions, exactly.
Who is that? She's like half naked. Well, it's not good. And they also need to be professional. They need to have spaces where they are. Because if you go to like Holland, there's a place called the Red City.
Specifically for that business?
For that business.
Wow.
So tourists flock the area in the Red City because they know, you know what? I want to see what happens in this city. So there are things that we are supposed to look out for. The culture that we come from, because everyone in Uganda has a background of a tribe, a background of a language they speak, a background of a culture that is embedded in every day-to-day life of that person. So there are some things that we can't really do, but there are some things that we can do because we are watching a lot of movies, we are watching, So if we're moving with the digital world, we are on TikTok, we're on Facebook, we see a lot of what other people do in the other world.
Another world, yes.
So we need to learn, but also we need to know that we have a culture that we embrace.
We are embracing.
Yes.
Now, you've mentioned about social media. Now, there is this aspect that is happening lately, streaming. Recently, we had a list here of the most streamed artists in Africa. You know, they're making money. Now, because we know that these artists have been making money through making concerts, which majority of them happen at night.
Yes.
But now, what if we have this new trend of streaming platforms where artists can earn money from online?
Yes.
To what extent will it affect the night economy in terms of concerts that are put in the night?
You see, this is what we call disruptive innovation.
Disruptive innovations.
People think of things that are better than what we saw yesterday. And the narrative keeps changing. Now, it is so funny that for the viewers who are watching, it is only in Uganda where data changes during time.
Data, like data for internet.
The internet is cheaper between midnight and 10 o'clock.
Between midnight and 10 o'clock?
Yes.
Wow.
You get 2 GB for 2,000 shillings, which you can't get during the day.
During the day,
So
but in the
means-
night. But you can get them in the night.
So
Yeah.
you see, when we're talking about the economies, we dig deeper into why is it that the telcos have decided that the night package is 2,000 shillings for 2 GB to work between midnight
To 10 a.m.
and 10 a.m.
Okay.
That means most people, producers of movies, downloading and uploading the movies, they do it during the night.
The night. Oh,
Where-
yes.
Where the internet is cheaper. Where,
And faster.
but the problem is, the more you make it cheaper, the more everyone is going to get on it.
Oh, traffic.
So the traffic jams the work. Why don't you just make it cheap, uniform, from day to night?
Tonight.
It's cheap. See, the reason why Uganda has failed in most of the works that we're doing is the cost of internet. Is the highest in the world. The highest in the world.
The world.
And the world over, you could go to cities like, I'll give you Amsterdam, where you find almost the whole city is full of Wi-Fi.
Everywhere you go, free Wi-Fi. You can just
Free internet.
Okay.
Why? Because they want their people not to be left out. Every time you put a hurdle to a race, some people follow.
Fine. Yes.
They are tripped on the race.
Okay.
So every time the internet is expensive, there are those people that would really use it but can't do much because they don't have the money.
Okay. Interesting. Now, in the recent years, we've seen the rise in music festivals and events in Uganda, and we want to understand how these events benefit not only the artists but also the broader community.
There's a very chain. I'll give you an example of the Nyege Nyege. People termed it the way they wanted.
Yeah, it had lots of names, people.
But it is a tourist attraction because people come from all over the world to go for Nyege Nyege. when you stop a show at 11, in Uganda, traffic on a Friday starts as early as 4 o'clock during the day and ends at
9 p.m.
Yes.
Sometimes it goes beyond.
Okay, so let's say
some areas.
It ends at 10, and the people are driving from Kansanga to Cricket Oval. So by the time they get to the show and pay to enter at 10:50, they're closing at 11.
They're closing at 11. Oh, goodness.
That's bad business.
That is not business.
Are you getting my point?
Very well.
It's like the people who, the technocrats, who decide when to stop and when to start, have little expertise on the industry. And they need to ask people in the industry, what do we lose
when we put restrictions?
Yes. And this is why Kenya cannot be equal to Uganda.
$7.6 million.
You have seen the difference. Why?
Very
because
huge.
they make sure that if a tourist came to spend, let them spend and leave the dollars in the country.
To the maximum.
Yes.
Okay.
So the restrictions that we put are the restrictions that we see on the bank balance.
So does it mean once that is sorted out, we are, because do we have the capability to be the number one nation with a self-night economy?
Yes. You see, Uganda is a special case.
Special.
Yes. Uganda, everywhere, the reason why they call it the Pearl of Africa, everywhere has a different touch in everything.
Okay.
If you went to Kabale to enjoy it, the landscape is different. The weather is different. The people you find are different. The food you find is different. If you went to Karamoja, the people are different.
Yeah.
The landscape is different. Everything is different. So this is what it means. The reason why people call this the Pearl of Africa, it's a mixture of everything.
Okay.
Uganda has tourist sites that the Ugandans have never been to.
I agree.
Chitagata, warm water, the falls, the
Game
falls,
parks and
the game parks. We have more
mountains.
Actually, Uganda has the world's most bird species in the world.
A bird species, yeah, that's true.
And these birds fly all over the world, and they all connect somehow, somewhere in Kalangala.
From those coming from Europe, Asia, come all the way to...
Yes, because you see, Uganda is gifted by nature, having the equator. When it is raining this side, there's some sun on the other side. So the weather in Uganda is magnificent. So the weather, we don't have winter.
Yeah.
We don't have summer. We have just good
It's
weather.
just there, weather. Good
So
weather.
that means a tourist can come to this country any day, any time, any month, any year.
Okay.
And they are not affected now. If you want to go to London in December, you need to go with jackets.
Jackets.
If you want to come to Uganda in December, you just need to have money to go to the good places.
Whether they all
So
during
this
night.
is what we are losing as Ugandans.
Wow.
We don't know the goodness that God has given us.
Ignorance.
If you go to places like Ndali Lodge in Fort Portal, Nacho, Crater Lakes, the breeze, the atmosphere,
yes.
the sound of the birds,
The lake, you feel the lake.
it makes you feel like you're watching a movie, but you're there. So because we are grown in this country and we do not care, because you grew up near Rwenzori and you see it is nothing. Your grandmother lives on the other part of the hill. You live in the valley. You don't care because that's where you live. But for the other people, there are picture moments in every second. Because they want to take it to the world and say, I was in a beautiful country. You go to places like Chobe, where you find you're sleeping in a room and the hippos are walking near your veranda. It's only in a movie that people see this. But I don't know that we need to change the mindset of Ugandans, first of all. We need to change the mindset of policymakers. We need to change the mindset of the people to love this country. When you leave alone the politics and everything, this country is a gold mine.
It's a gold mine.
But because people never talk about these things, and those who will talk about these things talk in a different way. So people never appreciate what they have.
They have. Wow, the oracles that are supposed to make it.
Imagine having 55 different languages. It means you have 55 different kinds of food. It means you have 55 different kinds of attire or way.
Cultures.
Yes, because a tribe is the making of everything. It's the way you dress, the way you talk, the way you... Very happy people, but you know, no one talks about all this.
Okay.
Yes, and other countries that are even getting pictures from Uganda are utilizing what we have, what we would have used.
Oh,
imagine the gorilla watching certificate in Uganda is the cheapest.
To watch gorillas.
But we have too many gorillas, but we get little money for them. Why don't we take a leaf and say, why is Rwanda charging a lot of dollars on gorillas and Uganda is not?
It's not. Yet
Why
we
they
have
just cross the border?
Okay.
Why is it that Ugandans are not given a proper chance to go to all these game parks? You see, you start wasting money to go to Miami. But there's Kalanga that will make you feel like Miami.
You know, the challenge, somebody was telling me, one of the stakeholders in the tourism industry, about subsidization of the fees, tourism fees. It's quite high for the locals, and they favor mainly the foreigners. So we have less domestic tourism.
But it's still in the mind. It's still in the mind. Someone says, sure, how do I pay to go and watch the source of the Nile when I'm in Musoga?
Now, that's another issue we have. I've grown up near mountain range. Why do I have
to really hike and go on top of this mountain? No, my grandfather went up there. They told me they saw snow. And that's why they stopped. So at the end of the day, is if we put it in context and say, let us teach our people to love this country, and let us teach our people to say, I appreciate that I am from Mbale, and when I look at the Elgon, it is not only looking at Elgon, let me try to see what happens up there. I come from the Sebe land, let me see what happens in Kapchora, and let me see what happens at CP Falls. The altitude, the high altitude training place in Kapchora, where all the athletes train in the world. Everyone would like to go there and see.
Exactly.
Where Cheptegei, all these runners, all these Ugandan gold medalists train from. One day you drive your car and then you say, I'm in this country, but I want to see that guy that got the gold medal last marathon. You'll find him training, and then you start to understand the beauty that God has given this country. But you cannot preach alone.
It needs a collective.
We need to preach, all of us, and say, you know, this is Uganda.
Okay.
And this is what Uganda can offer. You can live in this country for 10 years without going anywhere, and you get everything you want.
I agree with you. As long as you have the money.
You can go for holidays, you can, everything is here.
Okay. Well, quite a rich insight in there, and I believe it's been an eye-opener to the natives out there that are watching regarding what Uganda really can offer out there. But of course, the focus has been largely on the night economy and seeing how much money does Uganda lose by putting on restrictions as to when somebody should actually spend their money, that is during the night, as compared to countries that actually have a free movement all day, all time. You can participate. They make quite a lot of money. Kenya makes a lot of revenue, that is from the tourists, because there is no restriction whether night or during day. Well, it's 6 minutes to the top of the hour, and we come to the end of the show, today's edition. And of course, the focus has been on the night economy, but particularly onto the entertainment side. I still love to remind you that you can reach us on our social media handles at Smart24TV. That's on Twitter, Smart24TV Official, that's on Facebook. And also, Zabu is out there for you. You can participate by dialing *292# which is the USSD code for you there. And you can participate by buying bonds and securities. The markets are running up to 3:15. They open at 8:15 and they're running up to 3:15. This is effective every Monday up to Friday, apart from the weekends and the public holidays when those markets cannot be accessed. But that's not the big deal. You have the rest of the days to make money and capitalize and make some finances. And I believe it's very revolutionary for your financial life. Zabu says my money, my future. Altex East Africa says do something new. And also you can reach us out on DSTV channel 372 and on GOTV channel 320. And for those of you that are actually very much obsessed with gadgets, you can go to the Google Play Store and download the Smart Digital application. And amazingly, with this package, you can watch Smart24 TV, listen to NBS Radio, and listen to Smart FM at the same time. And for the business researcher out there, we got you covered. You can visit our official website, smart24.tv, to get the latest business updates, up-to-date facts. You're doing your research to present it out there. That's the right website. That is for you to check out. Well, we're heading into the weekend. It's a Friday. I would, of course, still say let's get back on how, how the week has been, the previous week has been, and we set goals for the next week. And of course, from the entire Smart Means business team, we would love to wish you a very great weekend. Let's link up on Monday. Good morning.